With an empty shot, he immediately shoved the fat man aside. Shu Xiang began unleashing fire on the group. Killing one person after another was effortless for him. After emptying his magazine, Ye Kei grabbed the fallen enemy's weapon, quickly pulled the trigger, and finished him off. He then aimed at the man trying to escape. Although he didn't manage to kill him in the end, everything was still going according to his plan. Turning around, Ye Kei took the backup computer from inside the car. Looking at the situation at the door, he didn't know what to say for a moment. Soon, the man who escaped ran into Sheriff Lucas. After learning that all his men were dead, Lucas coldly commented that those subordinates were useless. But when he found out that the person who killed them was a foreign woman, Lucas was visibly shocked. He wanted to see for himself who this foreign woman really was. He immediately ordered his men to seal off all entrances and not let anyone escape. Not long after, Lucas arrived at Leo's house and saw the ground covered with the bodies of his men. This was exactly what Ye Kei had planned. Lucas said that as long as Ye Kei handed over the computer containing the evidence, he could spare Nick and the family. Nick replied that he could give up the computer, but only after they were completely out of danger. Surprisingly, Lucas agreed. He didn't want to take unnecessary risks. The nearest town was over 20 kilometers away, and all the roads had been completely blocked. Tara was still pregnant, and there was also her father, who was in a wheelchair. Without a car, escape was nearly impossible. Lucas advised Nick to seriously reconsider, as so many people had already lost their lives. Nick's decision made it clear that he would face all difficulties together with this family. However, as Lucas said, escaping via the main roads was impossible. To leave, they had to take hidden paths. But Lucas would definitely use thermal detection to hunt them down. So if they wanted to escape, they had to wipe out another wave of enemies first. They immediately began preparing. First, they nailed wooden boards over all the windows. Then they placed a large pot in the center of the road, heating oil until it reached its boiling point. All the floodlights from the warehouse were moved to the front yard and connected to the main power switch with wires. At this moment, the backup Lucas had called in arrived. A full vehicle of heavily armed special forces, nearly 30 men. Nick heard the confirmation over the radio. He told Lucy to stay in the warehouse. The two of them set up their plan over the radio. Once Lucy received the signal, she would immediately flip the switch, turning on the floodlights. Each exposure had to last more than 5 seconds. Science shows that after being exposed to intense light, human vision temporarily fails and takes about 10 minutes to fully recover. During that brief blindness, Nick would strike and kill them. Just as Nick was finishing instructions to Lucy, Kayla's water suddenly broke. Everyone knows that this is extremely dangerous for both mother and child, but in the current situation, there was nothing they could do. Nick noticed the water on the floor, but he was powerless to help.